The now mainstream thought about the removal of gas subsidies, as championed by Western economists, talk of how much will be saved by countries, $10 billion for Nigeria, but conveniently forget how much the country loses in internal trade as living costs rise sharply. Austerity measures blow away small businesses and obliterates the middle class, leaving out the big corporate class who can survive removal of energy subsidies. The problem, though, is that major corporations are always optimized to minimize cost, labor especially, and maximize profits. Their primary goal is to create more jobs, but to provide the highest possible margins to their shareholders. Petrol is not only used by vehicles in Nigeria but by millions of businesses as their primary source of energy. That is why its costs affect everything. Millions of businesses in Nigeria are contracting as customers faced with higher living costs are cutting significantly on spending. A petrol attendant said instead of 3,000 to 4,000 liters sold weekly, they barely sell 500 liters now. Whatever we think we gain by saving subsidy costs, we will lose way much more in a contracting economy. And to be honest, Nigeria's subsidy payments specifically ballooned extraordinary in the election year of 2011. By 2012, the Farouk Lawal-led committee exposed deliberate inflation of subsidy payments and clear over invoicing, indicting around 49 firms. Nigeria can survive a subsidy regime. It cannot survive a bloated subsidy regime. The deliberate loopholes in the whole scheme should be identified and blocked. Nigeria is not the only country with energy subsidies. Ecuador, Bolivia, Indonesia, for example, had to bring back subsidies in the face of rising living costs and public protests. Faced with vociferous opposition due to sharply rising living costs, Saudi Arabia had to cap its energy prices in 2021, reintroducing fuel subsidies. Germany, the biggest economy in Europe and paragon of clean energy, faced with sharply rising energy prices due to the Russia-Ukraine war, resorted to reactivating its coal plants to keep energy costs lower, despite their initial said commitments to international climate agreements. If it is about policies, none of Obi or Atiku's faced subsidy removal schemes will work. None. Nigerians with their income brackets simply cannot afford market forces paying 617 naira per litre, almost the same as US $3 per gallon, while those in US earn 30 times more than those in Nigeria. Someone says subsidies have become a cancer and so we need chemotherapy. Perhaps we should be targeting cancer cells and introducing apoptosis to be healed instead of a chemotherapy that kills both good and bad cells. You cannot take someone through chemotherapy and wonder why he lost weight. The economy is losing weight sharply, either petrol or natural gas. Nigeria will have to choose one fossil energy source to subsidy to encourage manufacturing and trade. There are advisors in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's team who have alternative approaches to what is going on. You should listen to them. This is coming from Yusuf, writing from Lagos. Well, why don't you concentrate on the point the man is making and not the punctuation mark? Okay, however, some people are trying to bring out some errors. Paid writer, how much the men of subsidy paid you? Please tell them that subsidy is not helping any Nigeria. Listen to foreign commendation. Can you imagine? My advice to the labor union is that instead of going on strike, union advise government to find ways of softening the hardship we are facing. So what do you want with they talk since? Waiting they tell them. Funny. All the ones that they have been telling them, what happened? Well, listening to every bit of advice that will be better the Nigerians' lives and the entire economy. It is tangling to both sides, but don't allow it to collapse, which I think it would cause a huge catastrophic, bad and extremely difficult to fix up. Think fast for the best options to cater ongoing away the ongoing gains and anguish of the masses. Pray to Almighty God, unveil the hidden solution to calm the humming complaints of the Nigerians. One thing, giving these people advice, is a waste of time. Any form of advice you think you can give to them, they are aware of it. The political will and the selfishness is what is bringing this whole thing, the corrupt practices. Democracy in Africa is an aberration from top to bottom, executive National Assembly. What do they think they are doing? Cornering the Commonwealth and making citizens to suffer and be hungry. That's so.